Hey guys.
All right, guys. Same deal. I'll call on them, unless you would like to call on them. And get going. Hands up. Cool. We'll start right here in the middle. Yep.
Hey, BG, how's it going?
What's going on? Congrats, by the way. This is your first time doing media?
Yes.
I saw it on Twitter. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
So this is the anniversary week of Ron Simmons becoming the first ever recognized African American WCW champion. What does it mean to you to also be a former Black WWE champion?
Oh, it's huge. For one, I just grew up as a Ron Simmons fan, especially like I watched more WCW than I did WWE. For one, I was a huge Florida State fan too. The fact that this man is a legend at Florida State. He played my position, defensive tackle. And every time I've met Ron, he's just been so lovely and wonderful too. Especially, you know, when we were doing our stuff like circa 2016, it was real goofy, and I saw him backstage, I thought he'd hate us. I was kind of like worried to have a conversation with him, but no, he was so cool and understanding. So it means a lot. You know, you obviously you always pay respect to the pioneers, the people who came before you, because if there's no Ron Simmons breaking that barrier, then you might not see the opportunities that Kofi got, that I got, all those opportunities. So it's incredible. So shout out to Ron Simmons for just being a great dude, for being an OG. Can't say enough great things about Ron.
Over there, Whip.
I want to say thank you. I'm from right here in Detroit, and you were here with the Michigan Panthers all season long, dog. And you're back here at SummerSlam. How did it feel to be right here in the city, man, and you're back at SummerSlam?
I tell people all the time, man, Detroit honestly feels like a second home. Like I spent so much time here with USFL, like you said, but we did not just doing the stuff with the Michigan Panthers, but doing stuff around town, man. We got to go to Boys and Girls Clubs, and I got to see like Big Sean donated the studios, and just the more I learned about the community, I really just developed a real love for the people of Detroit, and just seeing this area being revitalized is amazing. So it's great to be back. Being here at Ford Field as well feels amazing. So it's great, man. And I always tell, like, Brooke with WWE was with me all the time. She's in marketing, and we always talk about how much we miss Detroit and how much we want to come back. Seriously, like I legit need to find another working excuse to come back here. But it's great to be back in the city. And I always tell people have these misconceptions about Detroit, who don't live here, who aren't from here, who haven't been here recently. Come to Detroit, like see the downtown. You'll have a great time. The food is amazing. Shout out to the Shinola Hotel, by the way. One of the best hotel experiences ever. The Marriott is great. It's not a shot at the Marriott. Thank you, Marriott. But I wish I was staying at the Shinola again. Anyways, just a ton of love for Detroit and the people here. So it's great to be back.
Awesome. Comic book right here.
We recently saw you, Kofi, and Woods together again on Celebrity Family Feud. Did you have a particular favorite moment from that taping?
No, that was a blast, man. And honestly, I tell those guys all the time that I'm so grateful that 9 years later, we don't hate each other. We still like being around each other, and we get to do all these amazing things. That was honestly, I was so excited for it to finally air. For one, our big comeback, I thought was huge, because I thought the women were about to wipe the floor with us. So I'm glad we finally came back and didn't get embarrassed. But the way it all shook out, our excitement, the whole experience was so much fun. If I had to pick one, like, I grew up watching Family Feud and to get to do Fast Money and not do too shabby. You know, I put over 120 points on the board, just saying, not too shabby. But nah, man, that's, for me, getting to do, my life now feels very full circle in so many ways, getting to do things that I enjoyed as a kid or being involved in things I never would have fathomed. I never would have guessed I'd get an opportunity to be on Family Feud. So just the entire experience from start to finish, and I'm getting to play with my friends. The entire men's team, the women's team, these are people that I've traveled the world with for years and years, and it's honestly a very tight-knit group. So it was just an amazing experience overall.
We'll go right here. Right there, yep. Yep.
Hey, Nick, good to hear women's wrestling talk. First and foremost, you are a veteran in the game, so I have to ask, how important is it to have a relationship with some of the new talent coming in, especially the Black talent coming in the team and moving to the main roster?
No, it's big. I think it's big. Every time I see like a Carmelo or I see Trick this weekend, it's for me that stuff is big, because I think oftentimes when I first entered wrestling, you had, I'm not saying everyone, but you had certain vets with certain OGs who spent more time worrying about gatekeeping, about keeping people out than they did about being warm and welcoming. And like for the three of us, me, Kofi, and Woods, like we always try to, especially when people are dope and we know they're talented, is to make sure that they feel welcome, or at least to do our best to let them know, hey, you belong here, you're a part of the system. For one, man, we're all getting older, and we need, like, if you really love this business, you want to see the next crop of talent come up and be in the best position to be stars, to make great money, to live great lives, because I'm not going to be wrestling into my 40s and 50s, and Woods and Kofi. I mean, Kofi's already in his 40s. Yes. It goes by fast. Anyways, but my point is, our time is going to eventually run out, and it's coming sooner than later. And it's important for us to support that next generation and to know that people that look like us can succeed in this business and can do well in this business. So that's the really cool thing for me, is to be able to look out and see just a real sea of dope black talent, men and women, who are doing incredible things in our company and outside of our company as well. So we made a lot of progress when it comes to black talent in wrestling. There's more room to go, obviously, but I think we're getting there.
Speaking of a post-in-ring career, would there ever be interest in being a WWE color commentator?
It's something that has been discussed. Titus is doing that, and I think being very well received and having a lot of fun. And I've had fun doing it as well. I saw Becky's comment too about the pee break, and that's something I thought about many times. Many times. Like, do you wear a diaper? I probably just wear a diaper because I like to stay hydrated. 3 hours of being there, we can't like go in a bucket. There's people right behind you. I would, or maybe like a catheter. It's like a catheter, and it would be painful. Don't get me wrong, but I can't sit there for 3 hours with no pee break. So that probably is the biggest obstacle. So I'm gonna add on to the Becky Lynch pee break commentary discourse and say that for me would be the biggest obstacle, is the urine. The catheter, that's the route we'll go.
We'll go Nick right here down the middle.
Hi, Big E. Thank you for the time. I'll ask the obvious. How have your doctor's appointments been going, and how close do you feel you're getting to possibly coming back to action?
They've been great, man. We did the year checkup, and all that stuff looked great as well. But on the other side, I also talked to spine specialists, some who've worked on people in the company and done their fusions, and they said, like, hey, I would not wrestle again if I were you.
Wow.
So for me, at 37, these are things that I think about. I think about quality of life. When I started this job at 23 years old and probably had a bit of a death wish and was okay dying in the ring, I now at 37 would like in the ring. I would like to do other things with my life. So I don't really have a timeline right now. I'm just really grateful to not have any nerve pain. My strength is great. Legit, no issues whatsoever. So it's just something I want to be smart about and make the very best decision for my life, because hopefully I'd like to have a lot of healthy life ahead of me. So I just want to be smart about the decision. So unfortunately right now I have no answers. I feel great. But yeah, I got nothing.
Cool.
All
Thank
right,
you.
last one. We're going to go in the back. Make it a good one.
Haus, it's crazy. First of all, we miss you. Second of all, I broke my neck when I was in my 20s, and I know with the adversity, the friction, I want to hear your mindset for people, what it's like to overcome challenges. What kind of mindset do you have that you can pass on to our listeners?
Yeah, for me, I'm someone who won't shut up about meditation because it's been so instrumental for me. And that really helped me a ton. When I was in the hospital and in a neck brace for 3 months, and at one point, like, we were talking about maybe being in a halo and, like, having screws drilled into my head for a few months and dealing with all those things. And, there's also the discussion of, like, hey, maybe we might need to fuse your C1 and C2, which means you'd actually be disabled because you couldn't actually drive. You couldn't turn your head. So these are all things on the table. But for me, meditation just helped me, because instead of thinking about all the things that I might have lost or all the things that I didn't have in my life or woe is me, I was just so grateful. It really allowed me to stay present and realize, man, you can move your fingers. You weren't concussed. I didn't go out. There was no displacement with any of the bones. Like, instead of focusing on all the things that I didn't have or the things I lost or what I was going through, I thought about all the blessings I do have in my life. And I'm just so blessed too, because I also had an amazing support system. I had so many people who reached out to me via text, on DMs, people who called me for weeks and weeks. People were sending me, Ali sent me this badass Lego Seinfeld set that I put together. It was a lot of fun. I love Seinfeld. I got a bunch of books on meditation. So that was what I focused on, is I have this amazing support system. I have a company who is not brown-nosing, but the company honestly has been amazing with me the entire time. I've had no out-of-pocket expenses, any of those things. So I just spent time realizing all the blessings I do have in life, all the incredible things I do have in my life. To be able to do this job for the last 14 years, I get to put on a singlet and mess around with my friends. I am an incredibly blessed person. I've had an opportunity to do so many amazing things. So I would just encourage people who are going through tough times to remember all the beauty you do have in your life. Because when you see life as adversarial, or you see life as dark, or always as a constant battle between people, then I think you're going to find more of that. But when you see life as a beautiful thing, as a great experience, when you see life as just an opportunity just to be here. We have an opportunity, we're here, we're alive. For all of us standing, walking around, being able to talk, it really is a blessing. And these things sound like cliches and tropes until you have experiences that remind you that life really is fragile. So I would encourage everyone to just remember that, man. Our time on this earth is not that long. It really is not. So cherish what you have and your loved ones, because it goes fast.
I mean, that's the best note to end on. Thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
Mickey.
I see you.